very warm welcome to our special edition, the Question Hour show from the Parliament House complex, the show where we bring you important unstarred questions asked by the members of the upper house and the response given by the government in written format. I'm Kriti Mishra and joining me is my colleague Rajat Kain. So Rajat, let's take our viewers through important questions and answers in this edition of Question Hour. And the first question in this edition of Question Hour is from member Revati Raman Singh, and this one is to the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. And Mr. Singh has asked the government whether farmers can become self-dependent by opting farming of jute and SANAI.
Well, in the elaborate reply, the ministry said jute is predominantly cultivated in states of West Bengal, Bihar and Assam. The normal area that is averaged from the year 2013-14 to 2017-18 under jute is 7.25 lakh hectare in the country and mostly grown in sequence of food crop. Whereas SANAI, that is sun hemp, is cultivated for green manure as well as fiber crop and is grown to be around 10 to 11,000 hectare area in states of Odisha, Uttar Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Bihar, West Bengal and Rajasthan. These crops are mostly grown by small and marginal farmers for a period of 3 to 4 months in a year and undertake such activities along with other crops for sustained livelihood. With increased use of natural jute and allied fiber products worldwide, there is potential for increasing requirement of raw jute and SANAI in India for manufacturing of finished products. Jute packaging material, that is compulsory use in packaging commodities, Act 1987, provides provision for compulsory use of jute packaging material in supply and distribution of certain commodities in interest of production of jute and jute packaging material and of persons engaged in production thereof and for matters connected therewith. As per the current provisions of the Act, it provides 100% of food grains and 20% of sugar to be compulsory packed in jute bags. The Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare is implementing jute and allied fibers development program under National Food Security Mission in 9 major jute growing states, that is Andhra Pradesh, Assam, Bihar, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Odisha, Tripura, Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal from the year 2014-15 with an aim to enhance production and productivity. Besides, National Jute Board, that is NGB, under Ministry of Textiles is also implementing Project Jute I Care from 2015-16 for enhancing jute cultivation. Moving on, next question was asked by members Amar Shankar Sable and Saeed Nasir Hussain from Ministry of Communication, and they sought the status of providing Wi-Fi in all villages across country through GRAMNET, especially in Karnataka.
In the response, the government says that under the BharatNet project, which was earlier known as National Optical Fibre Network, all the 250,000 Gram Panchayats of the country are planned to be provided with broadband connectivity, and as part of the BharatNet project, the last mile connectivity through Wi-Fi or any other sustainable broadband technology to access broadband internet services is to be provided to all the 2.5 lakh GPs in the country or the Gram Panchayats. As of now, Wi-Fi hotspots have been installed in 45,769 Gram Panchayats, including connected through satellite media. And out of them, services are being provided in 16,151. In Karnataka, Wi-Fi's have been installed in 2,569 Gram Panchayats, out of which services have been provided in 1,854 Gram Panchayats. Wi-Fi hotspots are being regularly provided by CSC E-Governance Services India Limited, and a SPV under METI, which is Ministry of Electronics, Government of India, and RISL, a PSU of State Government of Rajasthan, are under Phase 1 of BharatNet projects. And moving on to the next question that has been asked by member Kumari Shelja, and this one pertains to the Ministry of Culture. And the member has asked the government whether all the 7 zonal cultural centres are making any progress in terms of protecting the local art.
Well, responding to the query, the ministry said to protect, promote and preserve the various forms of folk art and culture, including local art forms throughout the country, the Government of India has set up 7 zonal cultural centres with headquarters at Patiala, Nagpur, Udaipur, Prayagraj, Kolkata, Dimapur and Tanjavur. These zonal cultural centres organize various cultural activities and programs on regular basis all over India to protect, preserve, promote and document various art forms. 630 art forms have so far been documented by these ZCCs in the form of audio, video and literature. During 2018-19, these zonal centres, Prayagraj has incurred rupees 9.08 lakh on various cultural activities like Atulya Bharat, Guru Gram Kala Utsav, Gita Jayanti, Tej Festival and Swang Utsav, and NZCC Patiala has incurred 67.27 lakh on activities like Mela Kapal Mochan, International Gita Mahotsav, cultural program at Brahma Sarovar, Kavi Sammelan and Haryanvi Sang Utsav in Haryana. Well, next question was asked by the member Devendra Pal Vats from Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. He asked whether the government has a proposal to review the country's food policy, especially distribution, to achieve zero hunger across the country. If so, what are the details under the program?
Well, the government says that right now there is no proposal to review the food policy of the country. However, the Government of India enacted National Food Security Act, also called the NFSA, which came into force with effect from July 2013. NFSA provides for coverage of up to 75% of the rural population and up to 50% of the urban population for receiving food grains under Targeted Public Distribution System, or the TPDS, thus covering about 2/3 of the population of the country for receiving food grains at the rate 1 rupee, 2 rupees, 3 rupees per kg for nutri, cereals, wheat, rice respectively. Identification of beneficiaries under the Act is also under two categories: households covered under Antyodaya Anna Yojana and priority households within the coverage determined for the state or union territory. While priority households are entitled to receive 5 kg per person per month, which constitutes the poorest of the poor to receive 5 kg per person per month. At present, the Act is being implemented in all the states and union territories, covering about 80 crore persons to get highly subsidized food grains. The coverage under the Act is sustainably high to ensure that all the vulnerable and also the needy sections of the society get the benefit of the Act. The Government of India also makes additional allocation of food grains for natural calamities based on the request of the state governments as well as union territories. As per the extent or the existing norms in case of natural calamities, all the allocation of food grains for 3 months of demand can be made to the states and union territories on the basis of the request received, and that the relief measures are not affected by them. And moving on to the last question of this edition of Question Hour, which has been asked by member Harshvardhan Singh Dungarpur, and this one is to the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. And the member has asked the government whether during the period 2002 to 2012, government has implemented National Disease Surveillance Project with the funding of World Bank and the details thereof.
Well, replying, the government said a pilot project, National Surveillance Program for Communicable Disease, was launched during the year 97-98 in 5 districts of the country, and later on it was extended to 101 districts. The project was coordinated by National Centre for Disease Control, which was formerly known as National Institute for Disease Control. Thereafter, the Expenditure Finance Committee approved the proposal for an integrated disease surveillance project, IDSP, on 23rd March 2004 with an outlay of 408.36 crore, with 75% share coming from the World Bank through soft credit under international development assistance. The integrated disease surveillance project was launched in November 2004. The World Bank assistance was available for project implementation in all states and union territories in the phased manner. The project development objective was to improve the information available to the government health services and private healthcare providers on set of high priority diseases of risk and risk factors, with a view to improve on-ground response to such disease and risk factors. Health is a state subject, and information is collected by local health authorities, which include various departments like food, water, hygiene and animal husbandry. It's being used for policy making or advancement, said the government, replying to the supplementary query of the question.
Well, Rajat, these were the important questions and answers in this edition of Question Hour. On the other side, we'll have Prashn Kal in Hindi with our colleagues Arvind Singh and Kriti Singh. Please stay with Rajya Sabha Television.
Thanks for watching this video.